Hi there, welcome to my views on news. Four news stories for you. Firstly, I told you about Lidetu Ayalew's return to Ethiopia in the last video. I contacted him and I have received his response. I want to share what he said. Secondly, conflicting statements by two senior officials of the Ethiopian government about fuel shortage in the country. I showed you piece of an interview given by Sahrallah Abdallah, who is DG of Ethiopian Petroleum and Energy Authority. She explained the reasons behind shortage of fuel in Ethiopia. Today, Ethiopian Minister of uh, Trade and Regional Cooperation spoke, and the minister told very different reasons about shortage of fuel in the country. Thirdly, viewers, a controversial law has been approved at the parliament. It's not a controversial law, by the way. This law is in place in all in several countries of the world, but keeping in view people's poor economic condition, the law could be deadly if it is implemented. Last year, Somalia's opposition politician, former President Sharif Sheikh, held a press briefing today, and he talked about Ethiopian attempt to gain access to sea. He talked about some under the table deal between Hassan Sheikh and Abiy Ahmed. And he talked about the electoral reforms in the country. Let's start, viewers. An update for you. I told you in the last video that Lidetu Ayalew is returning home. Some news sources are reporting a letter has been published by Lidetu Ayalew, written by him, published by some news sources. I wanted to confirm that, so I contacted Lidetu because I had his email address, by the way, because last time I did a video on Lidetu, I remember a few months ago when I talked about his relation with Fano or his alleged statement about Fano. And back then he contacted me. He asked me to post a correction, which I did. I had his email. Generally, I don't contact uh, Ethiopian politicians. Generally, sometimes their spokespersons, they contact me, uh, uh, and I am in touch with the spokespersons, with some main men in the armed groups of Ethiopia. People from opposition stay in touch with me as well. Generally, it's not a policy for me, but when there is something which should be verified, then I try to reach out and get confirmation. Lideto's return is a big development, I believe. That is why I thought of contacting him, and he has confirmed that he is returning to Ethiopia. Lidetu is in the US and he is not 100% physically fit, by the way. He said that he went abroad to seek medical assistance, and recently he had a surgery done, recovering, not fully fit, but he has decided to return to Ethiopia. What does he plan to do? Well, he could reorganize, reestablish his party, Ethiopian Democratic Party, which he founded, or he could start his struggle in alliance with some other parties. or he could just work as an individual. It's not clear. Maybe he wants to see the response which he'll get in Ethiopia, and then he will decide the course of action which he'll take. When will he return to Ethiopia? He said that he has bought his ticket, but exact date he has not announced. Maybe next month. Next month he'll return. And he said that yes, he could be in trouble. He criticized the Ethiopian PM indirectly in his letter, which he issued. I don't know what Lidetu is up to. Does he want to start a genuine political struggle? Or I don't know. Will he be well received? I don't know. But the interest shown by Ethiopian politicians in Ethiopian politics can lead to better government and more democracy in the country. Lidetu, if he's coming to Ethiopia to start political activities, could be in trouble. And if he knows the danger, still he's coming, it means it's a big decision, a brave decision. We'll have to wait to see. What will he do once he returns to Ethiopia? Will he be allowed to operate or not? He's a seasoned politician, by the way. One of the most seasoned politicians is Lidetu. He knows how TPLF works. He knows how parties, Romia, Amhara work. As an individual too, I think he can play a role. In allying with other parties, he can play a role as well. Maybe he might not be able to form a strong party single-handedly to challenge Abiy, but in alliance with others, I think he could pose a challenge to Ethiopian people. It's good to see. I said, by the way, next election should not be a duel between Abiy and Johar. Other politicians from other regions should also show that they are Ethiopians and they are ready to stand up to Ethiopian Prime Minister, who will definitely try to steal the next election. People won't like my comments, but this is what my position is. Abiy ran almost unopposed in 2021. Same will happen again if politicians don't start early. They must start now. Yes, they'll be imprisoned. Yes, they'll be arrested. Yes, they will face hardships. They'll face challenges, but they'll have to do that. They'll have to come to Ethiopia. They'll have to take to the streets. This is the way forward. Otherwise, if you just continue issuing statements, publishing videos, criticizing the government, sitting abroad, it won't bring about any change. You'll have to come to Ethiopia. Let's see what Lidetu does. By the way, I said, if you remember last week, that 2025 is the year of political upheaval in Ethiopia. You'll see political upheaval. I wouldn't say that there'll be big political change, but at least efforts will be made. Johar in the field, Lidetu joining as well, Lidetu taking the lead. He's returning. Johar is just preparing the ground for his return. Lidetu taking the first step. Let's see what happens. Interesting days ahead, I believe. Good for Ethiopian democracy that people like Johar, people like Lidetu, others, they are starting to show that they won't let the government, the Prime Minister, to hold another unfair election. Secondly, viewers, conflicting statements have been issued by two Ethiopian senior officials. One is a DG, other is a minister, about fuel shortage in the country. There is fuel shortage in Ethiopia. Everyone knows about that. I did a video, told you about what is happening in BG, Ethiopia, where fuel is not available at the increased price, 101.4 birr per liter. In other parts of Ethiopia as well, there is fuel shortage. Prices increased by over 11%, still fuel shortage. Saral Abdullah is DG of Ethiopian uh, Petroleum and Energy Authority, and 3 days ago, she in an interview claimed that Djibouti's Horizon Terminal was not able to handle all the Ethiopian fuel imports, and that in the past, Port Sudan used to handle Ethiopian oil imports. Due to war in Sudan, the imports of oil have been diverted to Djibouti's Horizon Terminal, which does not have the capacity to handle uh, the imports. That is why there is fuel shortage. Though she also acknowledged that illegal fuel hoarding is also one of the reasons behind fuel shortage. Today, Ethiopian Minister of Trade and Regional Cooperation, Kasahun, issued a statement, and he said that that there is no fuel shortage in Ethiopia. Artificial shortage is being created by gas station owners, fuel tanker owners, for deliberately hiding the fuel, leading to increase in prices. And he announced today that 19 gas stations and some fuel tankers have been fined. 100 million birr fine has been imposed on 19 gas stations and 200 fuel tankers. These fuel tankers and gas stations were involved in hoarding, in storing fuel. And they've been suspended from doing business for 6 months. 2 days ago, Ethiopian government recovered or uncovered 250 fuel tankers hidden in the far region of Ethiopia. The fuel tankers left Djibouti, but instead of supplying fuel to the destination, they hid themselves so that prices could increase. The fuel tankers were recovered. Now, conflicting statements. Minister is saying no fuel shortage, but gas stations, fuel tanker owners are involved in creating artificial shortage of fuel. While Sal Abdullah says that Djibouti's Horizon Terminal is not capable of handling all Ethiopian fuel imports. Thirdly, viewers, a law has been passed at the Ethiopian House of People Representatives, which could lead to problems for people in major cities of the country. Property tax proclamation PTP was approved at the House today. 4 MPs voted against it, 10 abstained from voting, majority supported the new proclamation. The new proclamation authorizes the government, federal government, regional governments to impose property tax in cities. It means the city residents will have to pay property tax. And those who own the properties. The property tax could be 25% of the market value of the property. If a property is worth 100 birr, the owner will have to pay 25 birr as tax. Keeping in view the economic hardships for the people becoming worse with every passing day, such high property tax could be devastating for the residents of urban areas of the country. Now, regions will enact laws in accordance with this regulation. How much tax will be imposed, that remains to be seen. But it seems hard times ahead for city dwellers in the country. Lastly, we have Sharif Sheikh, Somalia's former president and opposition politician, held a press briefing in Somalia today. He criticized Ethiopia, he criticized Hassan Sheikh. He said Ethiopia, if it wants access to sea for trade purpose, can gain sea access through Djibouti, through Eritrea, through Sudan. Why does it want to gain access to sea through Somalia? It means that basically it wants to occupy Somali territories. The sea access is not for trade purposes. He said that Hassan Sheikh and Ethiopian leader agreed on some points which are being kept in the dark. They criticized Hassan Sheikh government for electoral reforms. Hassan Sheikh government is making progress towards one person, one vote system, but regional governments like Puntland, like Jubaland are rejecting the new electoral law. Sharif Sheikh is also opposing the the new amendments. He said that Hassan Sheikh's government is making unilateral dictatorial decisions which are creating divisions in the country. That is why decisions should be implemented through dialogue, and inclusive and consensus based decisions should be made and implemented by the government. Opposition politicians in Somalia are like any other opposition politicians. They just criticize Hassan Sheikh government. No matter what Hassan Sheikh does, politicians like Sharif Sheikh, like Hassan Ali Khaire, like others, they always criticize Hassan Sheikh's government. These people backed Puntland, these people backed Jubaland. They want a conflict between regional governments and the federal government of Somalia. Thanks for watching.